Welcome to the You Are It podcast. My name is Alejandra Orozco. I am a social science researcher and an energy healer. You Are It has been created to support you in expanding your perception of reality. You are loved and absolutely deserving simply because you are, not because of what you have accomplished. Join me and be ready to transform your beliefs and approaches as you enter the flow of becoming one with your highest good and your highest purpose. Dear listeners, when a stream of water is interrupted by an obstacle like a rock, we can see that the water just keeps flowing. It does not care about the rock, its weight or size or anything else. Liquid water flows by nature, and it does so regardless of obstacles. We too are invited to be like water, to flow through life regardless of the obstacles we encounter, to be who we truly are regardless of circumstances, or to utilize circumstances to connect back to who we truly are. Today, we explore the states of doing, being, and non-resistance. You are all very welcome. Dear friends, in this episode 12, I feel so guided to share more about non-resistance and to connect this state of being with the multidimensional nature of this reality we are in at this moment. Let us begin. Abraham Hicks says, "The best thing you can do for anyone you love is to be happy. And the worst thing you can do for anyone you love is to be unhappy and then ask them to try to change it, when there is nothing anyone else can do that will make you happy. If your dominant intention is to keep yourself in vibrational harmony with who you truly are, you could never offer any action that would cause anyone else to be unhappy." So yes, we know that nothing and no one else can make us happy. Happiness comes from within, and it manifests regardless of circumstances, unless we are not in vibrational harmony with who we truly are. When there is deep awareness, when there is knowledge on our part of who we really are, divine beings and light upon light, no words from others, no economic conditions we face, no social status, no romantic partnerships, no material possessions. Indeed, nothing can take away our feelings of self-completeness, expansive self-love, and joy when we know who we really are. And when we are in our higher state of being, no action of ours would cause unhappiness to others. Every day, we go through a myriad of feelings, from feeling helplessness all the way to feeling joy. Because we are in this 3D reality and using our ego mind to navigate it, we are struggling to see all that we really are. We have limitations to see our own beauty and our own light. And if we can't see our own beauty clearly, then of course, we have the same difficulty seeing the beauty outside of us, somewhere else, because we can't give what we don't have. This past week, a channeling from Ann Tucker connected me to another related profound truth. She said, "At this moment, on this plane, knowledge is the most valuable thing, but that as we become aware, we realize that beyond knowing is being. We are the mystery that is being revealed as we go through our life experiences. Dr. Hawkins also talks about this when he mentions how we go through these stages of awareness, where we first focus on having, then on doing, which includes the acquisition of knowledge, and finally we move towards being. The ultimate purpose of life on this plane, and I say this plane because I feel that in all other higher planes of existence, we just are. The ultimate purpose of life on this plane is to move towards being, which, when we think about it, really means transcending the demands of our ego and all the stories of I have to do, I have to achieve, I have to pursue this and this and that in order to have some value, in order to survive, in order to be comfortable, in order to be happy. Many of us are partially aware of this, but we continue to live between worlds where we know that we are more than what this material reality suggests. But at the same time, we need to do in order to feel fulfilled, to get ahead, to be successful. So, how are doing, being, and non-resistance related? The very definition of the word karma is action, and our life in this world is pure karma. We are always in this process of acting, moving towards, and doing. So, what does it mean to just be in a world of karma? Let's look at this. This reality is certainly an activity-based reality. You plant a seed and you see a plant grow. If you don't plant it and water it, you may not see anything growing. You work hard and you are able to build a house, buy a car, etc. So yes, this world is a world of action. This world exists because of our actions. So a state of being rather than doing or having does not imply a lack of action or not doing much. Indeed, who you are is manifested through what you do. The world is through and because of your engagement with the things and the beings around you. And yet, the difference between a focus on doing and a focus on being is incommensurable. When you are and you engage with the world through your inspired action, you are not doing things because you have to, because otherwise you wouldn't achieve, because otherwise you wouldn't get this or that. No, you know that you already are, and the awareness of that inspires you to be in love, to build a legacy, to serve others, to be light. You do it because you already are light, not because this or that is what you need to do to become light. And that is powerfully connected to a state of non-resistance. This world is a world of karma, in the sense that what you see around you is a world that is intimately connected to the inner world within you. And this is by design, by perfect divine design. The way to change something, like a limiting belief within you, is to face it in front of you, to become aware of it. And once wisdom is acquired, you are ready to release it. At this very moment, everything in your reality is reflecting back to you the state of being you are in, and offering you insights into the different directions you could take to live the life of your dreams. Waiting, resenting, disliking are states in which we are resisting reality. When we are in a state of judging our current situation as undesirable, we fail to see the message or the learning in the experience. But not only that, such a state of resistance communicates that we resent the divine design before our eyes. This happens because our ego mind is conditioned to have preferences, to judge, to belittle, or to exalt based on our subconscious beliefs about who we think we are, or about what is right, or about what is wrong. So we engage in resisting the experiences that we go through so much that we somehow set our reality to repeat the same experience with a different boss, a different friend, or a different partner, over and over again. If we do not learn and grow with experience, it will return until we are able to learn and grow with it. Bashar is great at explaining this. When we judge or resent something because our mind labels it as bad, punishment, etc., we are in resistance, and with it, we are blind to the learning behind the experience. We feel as victims, and therefore, we get set to relive that experience again and again. Why? Because everything that takes place before you is for your best and highest good, and it comes to you to support you in owning your divinity, in expanding, in awakening to your infinite and powerful self. Whenever you resist and insist that the experience is not good, that is terrible, that it should be rejected, you are actually going off the path and setting yourself up for further delays in reaching your dream state of being. And you may ask, what about having a verbally abusive boss? Is that not a terrible experience? And I tell you, even that can be a blessing. That person is picking on you because there is a belief or perception within you that puts you in a frequency of low self-esteem and lack of self-love. So your frequency is inviting him or her, who is even lower in frequency, to be oppressive to you in order to show you your limited and healthy perception of yourself. This then allows you to become aware. And if you are up to the challenge of upgrading your state of being, you move towards being assertive by using your power of expression, choosing to honor yourself, and setting clear boundaries that protect your divine being. Please note that when I say being assertive and owning your power, I mean that you act, and you act based on what you feel is right, to stop, prevent, or simply walk away from anything that does not serve your highest well-being or that does not honor your divinity. You can do this without being insulting, dishonest, angry, or anything like that. You can do this without being in a state of resistance. And just like that, that nasty boss becomes a great messenger, allowing us to see where we have been and to move towards acting with integrity towards ourselves, as much as we try to act with integrity towards the rest of humanity. Our present reality always supports our growth to be where we want to be, in joy, abundance, etc. The reflected reality we see before us is constantly inviting us to contemplate, as if saying to us, do you want to continue to see this person, this place, this situation as negative? Or do you want to see how it is speaking to you about your own fears, your own prejudices, or your own dominant low vibration emotions. And as we become aware and change the way we look at things, and notice that nothing outside of us has any power except the power we choose to give it, we move towards owning our own power. And owning our own power frees us from having to react to the world, to the weather, to the news, or to blame or chastise others or circumstances. It frees us from being in a state of resistance. And whenever we see someone or something in difficulty, we move in an inspired way to support their well-being without having to resent or complain about the circumstances they or we are going through. Remember, the circumstances are a reflection of our inner state of being. And as we move towards recognizing this, we marvel at how every inclination towards love and peace brings love and peace to our surroundings, and every inclination towards hate and judgment brings more hate and judgment to the outer world. We all have a mind of our own. It is the guardian of everything we love, everything we hate, and everything else in between. Because our mind is constantly telling us, this is not good, this is ugly, etc. It makes us navigate reality by resisting everything in our path. And this is quite normal in the world we live in today. From experiences as diverse as waiting for traffic lights to change, to falling in love with someone, we have so many preferences that we go out of flow constantly. We go into a state of resistance every time something doesn't go our way. And it can be as simple as looking at ourselves in the mirror and not liking our wrinkles. In this state of disliking our physique, there is the belief that aging is negative, that it leads to ugliness, that we are flawed. And with this, such an automatic thought, we have just entered a state of resistance to the reality we perceive on us or around us. Maybe those wrinkles on you are meant to invite you to love yourself unconditionally, regardless of your physical appearance. But in your state of resistance, you may end up choosing to make an appointment with a plastic surgeon to change what you perceive as a flaw. Non-resistance is not a lack of action, but rather a state in which you go through the experiences without resenting or judging them, simply becoming a witness to them, taking the wisdom behind them. Having lived in places where material scarcity is a constant reality for many populations, it has always brought me to a state of awe to witness that my perception of reality was the challenge I faced, rather than the scarcity I thought others lived in. In my interactions with those with the least material resources, I became richer in my understanding of the abundance of life and joy they had, through the understanding that their physical condition in no way defined who they were and their value, and through the way they so generously shared what they barely had. Even as I witnessed the greatest injustice being done to people who were the very embodiments of light and honor, I could not help but marvel at their dignity and power, regardless of the injustice being done to them. They, acting with honor, did not focus on blame or guilt, but on restoring the land rights and establishing and protecting the rights to live in peace. Truly, those amazing elders I had the opportunity to serve while I was in Tanzania taught me that even in precarious physical conditions, I could choose not to take anything to heart and to move through the experience without resentment, focusing only on honoring my true nature, even when everything and everyone around me was trying to deny it. When we are light, we are called to always be light, no matter how dark it is out there. Be inspired in your actions. By being your true self, you move away from focusing on the wrongs out there. You move away from resenting everything in your experience. And you move towards acting guided by your ability to be loved, to be honorable, and to be a source of light. Yes, as you move towards being, you witness your actions being a result of your inner joy, your integrity, and the letting go of limiting beliefs. I would like to end this episode by sharing a beautiful message from Fallen Trees, channeled by Sami Vanek. He said, "The voices of many fallen trees say this: we gave our short lives here in these forms gladly, with gratitude, with richness, even with casualness. We were here, we grew, we connected, we found each other's roots, and we found community. And now we return to the greater community, the space that creates this world. May you who remain forest and human and all life on this world breathe in and out this richness, these awakened senses, and breathe the infinity loop that connects creation to created. Bridge our worlds with your breath and in your community. Let your roots grow deep into this space, into the multidimensional space of remembrance, connected to each other. As alive and alive, we, of course, are eternal, beyond temporary and temporarily individuated from oneness." Sami Vanek then says, "There is awakening in devastation." Allow me to set the intention that in this message and in all that you hear here in You Are It, you may be so blessed and so empowered that it will be most natural for you to be in non-resistance, to be beyond the boundaries of your ego, and to be in the infinite space of your heart. There is wisdom in every experience of our realities. Yes, there is awakening in devastation, and wisdom to be gained from all that is happening in your world. Allow yourself to be as fully and brightly as you can, regardless of your circumstances, and to be light, regardless of the darkness you may find in your surroundings. I love you all so dearly. My name is Alejandra, and you have been listening to You Are It. Talk to you very soon. Rumi once said, "You search the world for treasures, But the real treasure is yourself. This is the essence of our message on the You Are It podcast. You are the treasure waiting to be discovered or enjoyed. You are the flame that never consumes itself and the light that shines everywhere. Now you are home. Please know that you are most welcome. Stay tuned as we look forward to sharing something of value on every episode.